Hello, Phoenix Civic students. This is Robert Austin. I'll be your facilitator for the next 7 weeks. This is Civic 202, and I'm recording this on Monday, August 28th, 2023, the day before class begins. So I'm recording this to point out a few things that sometimes trip up students, and I want to avoid as much confusion as possible. So the first thing you probably want to look at is the course syllabus. I'm going to skip over all the details here because it's pretty standard stuff. But if you go down to the bottom, I have a summary of the weekly schedule. So this is kind of important to know because sometimes it's not obvious to students when things are actually due. So you have an interactive overview. That's just basically a question about how you feel about how you're doing so far. It gives me an opportunity to see what's bothering a student, and maybe I can say some supportive words or make suggestions on how to um, improve your situation. Or you might just tell me everything's fine and there's nothing to worry about. Anyway, that's due on Thursday, 11:59 p.m. Thursday, Phoenix time. Okay, so uh, today is the 28th. Thursday will be the 31st. So that should be done by midnight, the 31st, Phoenix time. There's a discussion topic. You're supposed to respond to that by midnight, Thursday, Phoenix time, just like with the interactive overview. And there's two replies that you're supposed to post in response to other student responses to the discussion topic, and that would be due by Monday. There's a reading review quiz due by midnight Monday. That's when I say Monday, I'm speaking about August, or I'm sorry, September. We would be in September already, September 4th. So by midnight Monday, September 4th, just before Tuesday morning, right? So the end of Monday or the beginning of Tuesday. And there's an assessment. Also, you have a simulation. I'll talk about that. And that's due Monday. Monday. So there's basically two dates to worry about. That's the Thursday, the coming Thursday of the week, and then the following Monday, which is the end of the week. Okay, so let's go down here. Of course, you can post questions in the course questions area. So we're in week 1, fluid statics and dynamics. So we're going to talk about buoyancy, for example. And you see here, this is one thing that's different about this week than any other week is opportunity to introduce yourself to me and to your classmates. And this is optional. It's not graded. You can say as much or as little about yourself as possible. But, sometimes it's nice to know uh, where you live. So if there's a hurricane heading your way, I understand why you might be delayed in submitting an assignment, things like that, right? And that's for those of you living in the region of the Gulf right now, that might be an issue in the coming days. Okay, there's interactive overview. If you click on that, um, at this point, I want to say also that probably the best browser for you to use is Chrome. Some other browsers aren't very compatible uh, with Blackboard, so I suggest using Chrome. If you don't see a button here to start your attempt, then you're probably not using a compatible browser. Okay, click on that. Um, and, it says some things about this week, and then basically asks you, how do you feel about how things are going? So try to do this by Thursday. Not worth a lot of points, but every point matters, right? So I'm the instructor or the facilitator, so I should feel very confident. And I might say here, I feel confident because, gee, I can't type right now because I'm the facilitator. It's too late for me. Okay, I'll put a comma there. All right. Anyway, that's all good. But and you could save here if you want to say something else later. But there's really not much you need to say, and it's best to get it over with. So go ahead and submit it. I cannot grade it until it's submitted, and you can download a confirmation. And in either case, a confirmation will be sent to your inbox. And I turn down the volume here because it's deafening every time I hear a sound. All right, so that's done. Now, probably even before you would do the interactive overview, I should have probably shown you this first. Uh, you should be reading the assignment, right? So here's your reading material. This is an OpenStax. It's a free online textbook. Let's click on that and see how it looks. Sometimes I have issues with formatting. Let's see if they fix that. So moving down here, actually everything looks pretty good. So this is your reading assignment. So there's 2 chapter readings to do this first week. So try to read through that and understand it to the best of your ability. You don't have to memorize everything. Sometimes it's best to go through relatively quickly and skim the material just to know what they're talking about and where they're talking about it, so that you can always go back and read them at more depth if you need to. All right, so that's one of the chapters, and then the other chapter is chapter 12. So click on that and see chapter 12. So you see that as long as you're signed in to Blackboard, then the reading is accessible. I mean, it's actually free no matter what. You don't have to be in Blackboard to read this. If for some reason this is not appearing clear within Blackboard, you can go straight to the OpenStax site, OpenStax, and there it came right up. So this is the college physics textbook. So go there and you can go to the table of contents. There's a lot of pop-ups here to get rid of. Okay, so table of contents. Go down to chapter 11. And there it is. And they break it down by page, so you just click through the pages. But it's the same content that you saw. Okay, that's the reading material. So try to get that read as soon as you can. And then you would probably want to get started on the discussion. So here's the week 1 discussion. See, it says due Thursday. And this is the date corresponding to, I'm on Eastern time, so it actually tells me next Tuesday, the 5th of September, which corresponds to 11:59. I'm 3 hours ahead of Phoenix, so 11:59 corresponds to 11:59 on September 4th corresponds to 2:59 a.m. September 5th. So there's a discussion here and some terms. So it asks you to choose a couple of the terms and talk about them. Okay. And that response should contain at least 175 words and be posted by Thursday, 11:59, which would be 31st of August, Phoenix time. Okay. And then sometime later in the week, um, respond to your classmates or reply to two of your classmates' responses. It could be a response from me as well. Okay, I don't want to dwell on that any longer because I'm going to use up all the time. Okay, so that's that. Get that done by Thursday. You've got the interactive overview. Then you have the buoyancy lab. Okay, this is a program called Lapster. I almost said lobster, and in fact, there is a lobster in one of the virtual labs. So this is launching it, right? And then you just go through, and I've already done it, as you can see. It takes about maybe half an hour to complete. Okay, just click play and proceed through the lab. And you might want to take some notes and maybe some screenshots if necessary. That'll help you with your lab report. So there's a lab report. Once you're done with that, you can write a lab report. Basically the format of the lab report is here. You download a file. Let's open that up. Take a look at it. So just write a lab report that addresses all these bullets here. Okay, so these numbered items. So tell me what the topic is, give some background information, some phenomena that you observed, describe what you did in your own words. Okay, describe what you observed, kind of put it into context in terms of what you read, you know, uh, analyze, in other words, analyze your data or your observations. And then there's a conclusion here, and it describes what you should put in the conclusion. That's it. If you want, you can leave these headings and just replace this text with your own words that address what's being described here, okay? So, so that should be pretty easy. So I'd say just use this as a template for your lab report and you'll be fine. And then you can submit that, attach it here, just make an attachment, just click on that, and then you could attach lab report, which is a Word document, okay? Make sure you submit it. If you just save it and close, I can't grade it. I'm not able to see it at all, so make sure it's submitted. And then then you have the other thing is the weekly quiz. I'm getting lost here. So reading review quiz. So do that. You can always exit it and come back later. You don't have to do it all in one sitting. So do that. And then I think this is the last thing I want to talk about. Friday, I've scheduled a live meeting. So it's optional. You don't have to attend, but it's on Friday, September 1st, 8 o'clock p.m. my time. That's Eastern time, which corresponds to 5 o'clock Phoenix time. So if you don't know what that is, just sometime before Friday, click on that link and it'll tell you what it is in your time zone. So join the meeting then. It's always better if I have some students to talk to when I have a meeting. Okay, that's all I can think of right now. I'm going to stop at this point. If you have further questions, you can post them in the course questions area, or even better, if you can, attend the weekly meeting this Friday, which would be, I never remember the date, so Friday the 1st of September. And I'll answer those questions in real time. That's all for now, and I'll see you in class.